Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Broken Sword 3, The Sleeping Dragon. So we heard last time these two ladies talking about Nicole.
That's her!
And so we're gonna go confront them and see if we can get some information. So, let's start with the girl on the right.
She reminded me of an aunt of mine. She wasn't a pleasant woman.
And talk to her.
Bonjour.
Have to walk to the right,
Bonjour, mademoiselle.
right position.
You've been arrested. They released me. I didn't kill him.
You made a mistake, Edith.
Oh, I don't think so. About the woman you saw. I'm looking at her right now. Are there any details you can remember that might help? I told the police everything. Why should I tell you? Because she tried to frame me for murder. Ha! What do you take me for? A character in some kind of detective story?
That's what she is.
She's had a nasty shock.
She's not the only one.
She did tell me something. Something she overheard Vernon say.
Go on. It could be important.
He said the power was building up. And he mentioned a manuscript. I don't know if that helps.
It might. Thanks.
Geez, why was she struggling to say those words? I was assuming everybody was speaking French or their native language, and it was just translating to English in a French accent. And now it seems like she was struggling to say something in English that it should have been in quotation marks or to imply something different there.
Hello.
Bonjour. My friend's very upset.
She's upset. I was the one who was nearly killed. The old woman looked like she could stand around all day.
So that was somewhat helpful, actually, because we didn't have to do too much
I
conversation.
couldn't open the door.
And I assume
I couldn't open the door.
that we're still not going to run into a scenario where
The door was shut fast and wouldn't open.
we run into doors that can be opened now when previously they couldn't be. I think we're going to just stay where we are. I'm not even sure we're going to find anything going around here. Obviously the right thing to do
The door was shut fast and wouldn't open.
is to go up to the apartment and try to get into that code. And see, trying to get into the safe.
I couldn't open the door. It was locked.
And see, this car has been illegally parked the whole time, and that parking enforcement
I couldn't
lady
open the
didn't
door.
put a
It was
ticket
locked.
on it. Seems crazy. Is that the parking enforcement lady's car?
The door was shut fast and wouldn't open.
Well, you may notice a pattern here emerging. That, well, we got the music. That tells me that there's probably something here. But I'm not sure what it is. And I assume that's poo on the ground that I'm stepping on. All over this place, it doesn't look like there is anything. So maybe the music just played because I traveled from one area to the other. Can't read the sign. That's one of those objects that it makes more sense that you should be able to interact with it, even though it's not going to accomplish anything. It's just because in the real world,
The gate was locked.
you are totally going to be able to read signs. Then hop back down here. Just into this little... I don't even know why you would bother to have a gate here. This is private smoking area, it seems.
The gate was locked.
And over here we can check the trash.
Nothing but trash.
And over here we can check the trash.
Just trash.
Might have been beneficial if they raised up the
door was
ladder.
shut fast and wouldn't open.
That way we have to go through the front door. So we've come back to this area. It's nighttime. That means some of the lights are lit up. It's slightly changed. That would take a little bit of work, but not anywhere as much work as making a completely new area. I'm just thinking, though, for the amount of interactions we very possibly may see here, it's a high possibility that we only talk to this lady, get a small piece of information, go check out his apartment a little bit, and then leave again after we find what's in the safe.
The door was locked.
Let's listen.
I couldn't hear anything. It was the door to a neighbor's apartment.
Let's see, this is the neighbor.
The window was now locked tight.
So you can't
The
go
window
through
led
here.
out to the balcony. The door was securely locked. The apartment was silent.
So it totally seems like there's nothing to do. And there's nobody else to interact with. And see, I'm thinking there's gotta be at least a few more places. I'd say at least 2 more locations. The game couldn't end
The
with
door
like
was
one
shut
more.
fast and wouldn't open.
Because we really just started to get an understanding of what's going on, and only George even has a understanding a little bit of what's going on. Nicole here has no clue whatsoever. Now it does look like if she could just jump from this platform to that overhang, which hopefully that would hold her weight, it seems like that would allow her to walk around. Of course, she's going in this place, and
The police had done a very good job sealing the crime scene.
The
flat
lights
had
are
been
on.
securely locked up. I could see the key in the keyhole inside the door. The door was locked.
So we know the key is in the keyhole, so we're doing the traditional puzzle here. We do a newspaper.
I had to find
Under
out
the
why
door?
Vernon wanted to see me, and why he was killed before he got the chance. This was an old trick, but it might just work.
And her hand totally clipped through that, and then we'll just use the pencil to
Let's
push the
see
key
whether
out.
those old TV shows were accurate. Aha!
And now we pick up the newspaper.
Gently
key?
does it. It worked. The key landed neatly on the paper.
And nobody that's locking anything important has a lock that would
Lock
work that
opened with
way.
a satisfying click.
And so then open the door a second time. Thought we might get a cutscene there. Very nicely animated feminine walk. Somebody spent some time on it. Let's see. They picked up the pan. We can look at it.
The number of the phone was 0123748019.
Can we listen?
You have no new messages. Old messages.
Vernon, darling. It's Maman here. I'm at my wit's end.
Can I skip this?
I've given your trousers 3 washes at 100 degrees and that stink still won't come out.
Nope.
It's more like cement than mayonnaise. Anyway, the ironing's done. Oh, I hate these machines. Au revoir, à dimanche. This is Nico Coladia from La Liberté.
So
Just
behind
around
her
8
there
o'clock.
is a
Goodbye.
washing
Hello,
machine
it's
for the
Beatrice.
clothes in his
Luck for the
kitchen.
reporter.
Interesting,
I'll
but
be waiting
no
for you in
dryer.
the gardens afterwards.
Mm.
Love you, Snooky.
Snooky. And Nicole doesn't even have that. In fact, this guy has a much nicer apartment. Ooh, here's something new. This wasn't here before.
A box of tissues stood on the counter.
Let's take it.
A girl should never be without a tissue. The trash can contained no clues. The trash can contained no clues.
So you can look at it or click on it and get the exact same response. I kind of wish you'd have different responses there. So, paper tissue. What
It
am
was
I
a
going to
paper
do with
tissue.
this? Not sure. And they put the iron away. And see if I could dust for prints or something.
I couldn't hear anything.
Maybe that would help with the safe lock, which it's surprising the police didn't just
The wash basin was surprisingly clean.
let's see. Yeah, unless I'm supposed to wet down the tissue to have a wet tissue for some reason. Why would the police leave all of the lights on? That's a question.
The computer had been wrecked.
Hmm.
The computer was badly damaged.
They took the body.
Who needs ornaments when you've got a TV?
We've got this. And this desk is there to block you away.
I had a pretty good idea who was going to be behind the door.
Okay, so interesting. You're just gonna let the girlfriend, who is probably
Under
a
the floorboard
suspect,
was a small safe with an electronic lock.
back into the house to destroy evidence.
I could have hit buttons at random, but getting the combination that way would have taken weeks.
Seriously? If it's a 4-digit code, it shouldn't
The
take you
picture
more
was a
than
pleasant
about
touch. Another Steve
a day.
Jobs original.
if you tried them all and were very fast about it. The sobbing intensifies. Open the door and talk to her. Hopefully she won't run away this time. And so I guess this is her goth poster. And she's not gonna freak out and question
The wardrobe was stuffed with unwashed clothes.
how somebody got into
Disgusting.
the place.
I could see the street outside.
I could go back out there.
Whoever did the dusting here never got round to the TV.
Although I don't see a real reason to go back out there. Let's see, what's this?
Cold Singapore noodle with tea bag. Gross.
Interesting. Let's see if we can actually open this. So you can use it and jump over the rail. Question is, why would you need to? It's like all you can do is jump back over to this part. Unless you're supposed to jump down. awkward animation here. I mean, pretty obviously it would be an awkward animation. And you can't go any further to the left, so no idea about walking around to the front of the building. That won't work. Nothing could get me to spend even an hour or two in an apartment where somebody I knew was murdered. Just not gonna happen. I'd be like, I'm getting a hotel and I'm gonna send somebody for my things and leave.
The poor thing looked as though she'd been crying for days.
Let's try to do the decent thing and give her the paper tissue.
Here, I understand if you don't want to talk. Thanks.
How about, what are you doing in my apartment?
I thought the police had arrested you. They did. Held me for 2 days, then released me without charge. Now I'm going to find out what's going on.
So let's ask about Vernon Blyer, who looks way better in this picture than he did in the 3D modeling. Like, nowhere close.
Can I ask you about Vernon? He was very anxious to meet you. What did he want to talk to me about? Do you know? Not the details. He was acting so strangely. Go on. He said his life was in danger. Wouldn't let me come up to the flat. We had to meet in the gardens. Why was he so scared? It was those people. Who? I don't know. They paid Vernon to crack some old manuscript. I don't know why it was such a big deal. Anyone can see the manuscript on the internet. So did he crack it? Of course. Vernon's the best. He was the best. So what happened then? They told him to keep quiet. Threatened him. That was 6 months ago. So he risked his life to speak to me. But why now? He said it was all coming true. What was? He wouldn't tell me. The stuff in the manuscript, I suppose.
Sophie here, isn't that her name? I have to say, she looks like a character from Second Life. She doesn't even match the animations quite right of the other characters in the game. Here you have Nicole on the right, who looks pretty good in 3D. And then you have this person on the left who looks cartoony. A lot more cartoony. Furthermore, is that a carpet or a tapestry or curtains or a mattress on top of the dresser? Because if it's a carpet, there's no carpet on the floor. So why is it up there? If it's curtains, that's really thick curtains, and why aren't they on the curtain rods? And well, there's already curtains on the curtain rods, I guess. And if it's a mattress, like a mattress topper for more cushion, then why isn't it on the bed? I cannot think for any logical reason for there to be rolled up fabric thing on top of that dresser. But I bet that has nothing to do with the game at all. My mind is just wandering.
Do you know anything about Vernon's safe? Only that he's got one somewhere. You don't know the combination? No. It would have to be easy to remember, though. Vernon had a terrible memory. Really? I used to laugh. Because he was always asking me my birthday.
That's what I figured. It was her birthday.
What's your birthday again, babe? He'd say, 23rd of October. Same every year, I tell him.
So it's 2310
Okay, Beatrice.
or 1023.
No, wait. What about that woman? What if she comes back? Don't worry. She won't. What are you going to do? I'm going to find her and get to the bottom of this.
There's a thing about necklaces too when you try to animate them in games where they
Thanks for your help.
have this
Goodbye.
tendency to feel like they are just glued to the neck of a character. And with a small necklace like Nicole's wearing, if we can get an indecent perspective there, it's not too bad. But when you have a giant necklace like hers, it does just not naturally fall.
If you think of anything, or just need to talk, I'm at 361 Rue Jarry. Thanks. I appreciate it.
Get that girl out of that apartment. She is doing major mental damage to herself. Alright, we gotta comment on the boob jiggle. It's a little more than I think would be realistic, but it's not extreme. Alright, so now we try Beatrice. See, Beatrice even looks better here, too. If they had gone with slightly plainer and more nerdy instead of goth.
Piecing together the information from Beatrice,
Well, just don't be the biggest stereotypical goth ever.
There were 2 items inside the safe. A hand-drawn diagram and a DVD disc.
Okay, well, we have a DVD player back at our
2 things
apartment.
inside. A hand-drawn diagram and a DVD disc.
Yeah, I just looked at it. Like a normal person, I look at things before I pick them up.
There was nothing else inside. I'd taken everything out of the safe.
So, we could look at the diagram, I suppose.
Vernon claimed the diagram had some importance.
Let's probably have to overlay that on a modern map. And then look at the disc.
The DVD disc didn't have a label. I didn't care who it was for. A reporter has to get her leads where she can. I just needed a DVD player to view it on.
And so we're kind of done, but let's see if we can go pick up another tissue.
A girl should never be without a tissue.
Can I pick up a bunch of them?
I didn't need another tissue.
So unless we trigger something on the way out here, we're done with this area and we can just go back to the apartment. And one would hope and kind of think that what's going to happen here is she's going to get on the track and start going to a new location that is
I had the DVD,
along.
and now I needed to take a look at its contents. Going back to my place was the best option. What the?
Oh. And we have another QuickTime event.
I had the DVD.
QuickTime events before QuickTime events even.
Going
Wow.
back to my place was the best option.
That's what it is. It's pre-QuickTime, QuickTime events. And so I'm gonna have to really pound on the button to get
I
it.
had the DVD, and now I needed to take a look at its contents.
It's like she's
Going back to
reliving
my
her
place was
death
the best option.
over and over again.
What the?
So I used the ground.
That was close. That was the sports car I was looking for earlier.
So she knew 2 days later I would be back. Interesting. Let's talk to this
I
lady.
have nothing more to ask her.
Seriously? Alright, well, good. Since we're leaving this area anyways, I guess we'll run towards the car and see if maybe it crashed. Or see which way it went.
I considered leaving the area and decided to visit my apartment.
Music's playing, so we've done what we need to do. This is a weird oven with a round face. Maybe that wasn't a laundry machine. Or maybe they just used the animation of the laundry machine for oven too. So, I don't really see a reason to do anything else other than the right thing, so let's just do the right thing and play the DVD.
My hands trembled as I slid the disc into the slot. What was so important that it got Vernon killed?
If you are watching this, Mouse, then, well, you know what's happened. The whole world is in danger, Beatrice. The manuscript those people paid me to
If they'd
dispose
just not
is a
done
secret.
acne.
Deadly secret, though I didn't know it at the time. You know all those earthquakes and the crazy weather I've been going on about? They were predicted in the manuscript. Turns out it's quite famous. Called the Voynich manuscript. People have been trying to crack it for years, and I beat them to it. Me, Vernon Blier. I haven't decoded everything, but what I've
Look at
seen
his hair.
is enough.
That is awful.
So great. It could destroy the
That's
whole of
an
mankind.
awful animation of a
Flows
hairstyle.
continually around the earth along routes known as ley lines. The Chinese call them dragon lines.
They're trying so hard to
Ancient civilization
throw in
even
the
learned
dragon.
How to use this energy, and it brought them great power. They became greedy. They lost control. And power surged. It almost destroyed the world. Beatrice, the people who paid me want to harness this power. And if they do, it is the end of the world. For real! You'll find a diagram with this. It's important, but I haven't worked out why yet. Two things I know are very important.
I'm
Something
surprised he
called
doesn't
the
have
Key
a
of
pocket
Solomon,
protector.
And the strange phrase, devils and witches dance with cows on the Sabbath. The more I work on the manuscript, the more confused I become. And the more I fear for my life. Whatever happens, Mouse, I love you.
So,
I'd wanted a big story. Now it looked as though I'd found one. But what did it all mean? I was going to need help.
there's some weirdness there because I'm pretty sure by the time that this game came out, there was no camcorder, let alone a webcam. The webcams were very rare, if existent at all, during this time. But there's like no camcorder that would record directly to a DVD. So, I guess if he had a camera that we never saw in his apartment, and he recorded it on a tape, and then he played the tape into his computer and made a DVD out of that, I suppose that's what you could have done. But it would have been so much easier to say it was a VHS thing instead of a DVD. But I guess stay with the time. And oddly, now in 2017, you really couldn't make a DVD any easier. Or a Blu-ray or anything like that, because not that many people even have drives or regular computers. Everybody just uses their cell phones. What am I supposed to be doing now? Like, I found things out, but...
Vernon claimed the diagram had some importance.
Like... Am I supposed to use the pencil with maybe the diagram? Nope. Am I supposed to use... I don't think I'm supposed to use the lipstick with the diagram either.
No way was I doing that.
Let's see. Can I get her to put on lipstick when there's nothing near her? No?
Today's modern woman should never be without her lipstick.
So it's going to come into play at some point, but I don't know when. Let's listen to see if we have any messages, I guess.
I thought I should check my messages.
You have new messages.
Her answering machine doesn't say how
Well,
many
I've got a very important
messages.
word for you. Soffits.
Oh, seriously.
When was the last time you checked your soffits?
Oh
I
no, I'm
thought
stuck in
so.
this too.
Well, I am calling from the Stop It Rotting Soffit Company, and
I'm
I
never
want to tell
checking
you
messages
about the
again.
Soffituum Soffit offer. A 50%
This is
discount
ridiculous.
on all
Why
soffits
didn't
ordered
she
before the end
delete
of the month.
that after
Just
this
remember,
gag?
your soffits say a lot about you. Why not let us stop the rot in your life? Oh, and don't worry about calling us. I'll call you back. Nico, this is your editor.
Like, she should
Remember
have
me?
deleted
Where in hell have you been for the
that
last 2
right
days?
then.
What's all this nonsense about being arrested? Give me a call as soon as you get this message.
Notice how she just kind of stands in place and doesn't do anything while it's playing the audio?
Perhaps I should make a call.
I guess I'm gonna call Andre.
I wondered if Andre might have any ideas.
Andre Lobino,
Hi, Andre.
it's good to hear from you. I do worry about you, you know.
Oh, Andre, you are sweet.
Ask him if he knows anything about Vernon Blair.
I've got a serious problem, Andre. I really need your help.
Tell me about it and I'll see what I can do.
The guy who died?
The one you went to interview?
That's him. He left me a message recorded onto a disc.
How terribly dramatic. A voice from beyond the grave.
This is serious, Andre. In his message, he says he managed to decipher something called the Voynich manuscript. Also, do you know anything about the Key of Solomon?
I need to see this for myself. I'll see you at your place.
He's just gonna invite himself up, I guess.
Whatever happens, Mouse, I love you.
And we
If
always
even
end the
1/10 of
section
that
with
is
that
true,
We have to assume it is,
extra
Andre.
story.
let's summarize what he's told us.
Something called the Voynich manuscript suggests that
Glitchy
an
face.
ancient civilization
Animation
used
there.
a power that ran through the earth itself.
And someone is trying to
Look at her
use that
neck, it's
power
bent
today,
way
possibly
too
in the
far
process
down.
causing earthquakes.
That strange diagram and something called the Key of Solomon has, as yet unknown, significance.
I have no idea what the diagram is, but I know about the Key of Solomon.
What does it unlock?
It's a fabled book that holds the wisdom of Solomon. What else was there?
Devils and witches dancing with cows on the Sabbath.
Devils and witches were reputed to have danced on the Ile Saint-Louis,
Part of that island used to be called Ile aux Vaches.
Cow Island.
There's a significant connection to the Ile Saint-Louis. If we could only pinpoint it more closely.
So let's go ahead and give Andre the map and maybe we can get
Andre
an
is
exact
a dear old
location.
friend. He's always been very supportive.
And he's a museum curator, research person, so he knows a lot of things about things we keep needing answered. He has a lot of answers, conveniently, since this is a game. Let's give this to him and see if this helps.
That wasn't the right thing to do.
Let's see.
No way was I doing that.
Can you do anything with
That
the bank
wasn't the right thing
statement?
to do. Not right now.
Put the lipstick on him.
That wasn't the right thing to do.
And how far have we gotten now? So we're left with more questions that we'll have to find out in the next recording. That's it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.